Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, May 12th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Looks good. More things over here. And it looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Go. There you go. Just muted everybody. My bad. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, May 12th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and mark up the liquidity real quick, and we should be good to go from here. I'm just going to mark up the closest liquidity, guys, because, or actually, I mean, I can mark up all of it. It's not a big deal. But realistically, the closest liquidity is really what matters because these farther liquidity areas are not going to get triggered for, some time. So I'll just mark up all liquidity for today, but in the future, I'm probably just going to mark up whatever is closest. All right, looks good. Yeah, because these farther levels are just not going to get touched. So that's not really a big deal. But it's good to know just to see where a lot of liquidity is sitting, because if there's a lot of liquidity sitting on one side, odds of it pushing further in that direction are very likely. So it's up to preference, but if you do have time, I'd probably just mark up all of it. All right, looks good. $30-minute. All right. Looks like we're good to go for the most part. All right, solid. So we got liquidity sitting on both sides over here. Let's see how far is it from current price. It's pretty close, actually. So it's pretty close over here. Mark that up. Let me go over here real quick. Check the news real quick. We have about 7 minutes. I gotta do this real quick. I'm getting news today. News at 5:30 and 7. So we had news over here at 5:30. I'm gonna mark that up real quick. News was right there. Nothing too crazy. And we got some high impact news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. All right, got that marked up right there. We got some new higher highs getting built up over here, so we'll leave that marked up right there as well. So price is pretty much in a range right now in between these two areas. Here is the clean chart. Got 6:30 right there. 8 o'clock right there. And I think we are good to go, guys. All right. So looking over here at liquidity, guys, we have two areas of liquidity right here. So let's see. I did the math and it looks like the price difference between FTMO and YM is about 60 points. So you can pretty much just, if you ever want to put in the numbers, guys, you just subtract it by 60. So these are the prices right here. If you want to put a buy stop over here, it'd be at 33,439. If you want to put a sell stop over here, it'd be at 33,394. It's going to be a bit difficult to set it up pre-market because, I mean, it might get hit before market opens. So the market is opening right now in about 20 seconds, guys. I don't think there's enough room for a pending order. So I'm going to see where the market opens, and then I'm going to go from there. So market is opening in about 5 seconds, and market is now open. So there goes opening bell. So where price ends up going. It's actually really slow. Where price is currently at. See that level right there got hit. I didn't get it, but I'm watching it right here. See if I can make it a late entry right here. All right, let me see where it's at. I still haven't gotten in yet, guys. Just waiting for it to come down. It keeps bouncing around a little too much. So it looks like that would be the area of liquidity down below. It's watching it right now for it to come down. Let me see if I can put a sell stop there to catch as it comes. Numbers moving a little too fast. See, it's kind of choppy. No, I'm not able to put the number in too fast or fast enough. All right, price is coming down right there. Let's see if I can get into this. It's a little choppy right here. And it keeps giving me this error. This price is too close. All right, price is coming down now. See where it's currently at. Let's see. See what that 100 mark is. There. All right, it's dropping pretty heavy now. It's coming down fully. With my stop loss and profit. Profit 5,000. Come on. All right. Fuck yeah. Okay. I got the full 300 pips. Okay. I was kind of stressed out because I was trying to type in my order and then it failed. And then I was like trying to move my stop loss and profit. When you hear that clicking noise, it moved my stop loss and profit. And then I got the full 300 pips, guys. So I got it for a huge profit right there. I made 6 fucking slippage. Whatever. It's okay. I got 5,560 off that right there. I don't know like what happened to my order, but I ended up getting in, I guess, a little earlier and went straight to my TP, and then it pulled me out for some slippage. I made 5,560 off that one trade right here, taking this for 1-to-1 risk reward. So I did some testing last night, guys, as you guys saw here in the chat. It was basically almost 100% win rate from April 17th up until today. So these losses could have been, they could have been avoided because there was news really close. So like, for example, we had an entry right here on 6:30. If the news was closer, because it's at 7 o'clock, right? The high impact news is over here at 7 o'clock. I would have skipped it, or I would have just went for 100 pips. But since there was so much space in between, I ended up taking it for the entire move. So I took it for 1,300 pips right here, went straight to my full TP. Huge profit across all my accounts. A lot of slippage though. My MFF only gave me 2,400. It's supposed to give me 3,000, but a ton of slippage right there. If you guys are still in the position, I recommend moving your stop loss in profit. Looks like it's kind of dropping down a little further, but if you guys do want to hold on to it, move your stop loss in profit at the moment. And there we go, blast straight through the TP. So guys, since I've done this testing, I'm going to start counting these as official entries because I think it's really remarkable how much we could make off this one trade. I could literally take this one trade every day. If I take a loss, fine, I'll just call it a day. But if I catch a win every single day, I did the math. Like if you do 2,700 and I'm using a 200 lot size, so 2,700 times 20, I would have made 54,000 in profit within just, within like less than a month. So that times, 2 of my FTMOs, that's like over 100K. That's crazy. So I'm going to just implement this as one of the official trades because a lot of you guys have been asking that this is like one of the staples now. So we're going to start using this like pretty much every day. We'll use this in incorporation with the high level momentum scalp as well. So we'll add this to one of our official trades because this trade hasn't been coming up very much. It's just this week, this trade hasn't come up very much. It's come up maybe like once or twice, maybe 3 times this entire week. And we've been pretty much just applying this. So since this is one of our main strategies now, we'll start counting this as one of the official entries that we'll be taking. In the summer, if the market starts to consolidate, we'll go into this as well, the SR rejection scalp. But for now, it looks like these are the 2 main strategies that we'll be applying. Since we've been applying this for like 2 weeks now, and it's been pretty consistent. I did the data for this month too. We had no losses for the entire month of May. So basically like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight back-to-back winning days for liquidity. And this is for a 1-to-1 risk toward 300 pips. This is what a lot of you guys have been asking for. So we'll keep using that and we'll move forward with it. So, all right, I'll take a screenshot of my profits right here. Oops. Button. All right. So here are my profits right here. You guys can see the profits I made off this. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this as well to show you guys. I think it's a good risk. If it's a 1-to-1 risk toward, it's fine because, it's going to bounce back either way at some point. And if you guys made profits on it, great. We're gonna have to come up with a name for the strategy though. I mean, we could just call it liquidity push. Gain of 300 pips. Perfect. Looks like Andrew caught it. CJ caught it. Maria caught it. Dijon caught it. Pretty much all you guys caught right here. So looks good. Yeah, no, Glenn, you're 100% right. I just kept thinking about it when you asked that question, and that's why I decided to go for it. So I went and I tested it, and it worked really well. So yeah, thanks, Glenn, for it. It's always someone in the group that's always pushing me to like push the limits. Like Tom over here. Is Tom here right now? Tom's actually not here right now. But yeah, if you guys remember Tom in the group, Tom like kept bugging me about passing the challenge like within 30 days. So I just increased my lot size and I've been making double profit. And then Glenn over here kept asking about doing a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-3. Tested a 1-to-1, it works well. Anything above that is a little pushy. So you can see, for example, here, the 1-to-1 worked for 300 pips, but if you went for anything higher, like say, 1-to-60, or 30-60, it just wouldn't work out. So the 1-to-1 actually works fine here. And I think that's something I'll probably use. If we have a news date that's coming up, I'll probably go for 100, but for the most part, I think 1-to-1 is decent. CJ is asking, will the breakout be valid here? Let me look at the overall bias. It does not look like there's an overall bias right here on open. It's laundry, so I don't think there'd be a breakout there. Or technically there would be a breakout right here. So for example, it just depends if you're using the overall bias. So right here, there would technically be a breakout like you're asking, but the range is kind of tight. Plus, Let me refresh this real quick. Yeah, there wouldn't be a bias here, Solange, because you need to look at overall bias right here. The fundamentals are currently bullish, and the sentiment right now is currently bullish as well. So the technicals are barely bearish. So you wouldn't be taking the breakout there for a sell, because you'd have to have overall bias, right? Retail sentiment over here is 56% short, so it's neutral bullish. Looking over here at the fundamentals, you're currently 72 points in the green, so they're bullish as well. And then the technicals over here, it's just the shorter time frames that are bullish or bearish, but the higher time frames over here are neutral. So there wouldn't be an overall bias, so there wouldn't be a breakout today. I mean, technically you could take it if you wanted to, but it's not one that I'd recommend because you need overall bias for that type of move. Yeah, no problem, Solange. Good to have you back. I know it's been a while since you've been here. So yeah, definitely. I think if you like the breakout, Solange, you might want to look at these liquidity pushes, because these liquidity pushes are basically the breakout, but you get a better entry point. Because you don't really have to look for overall bias. You kind of just look for where liquidity is sitting, and then you ride that pretty much down in the direction of the push. So just I'd recommend watching the most recent mentoring sessions, and then like the mentoring sessions for the past 3 weeks, and then you'll see me cover the liquidity push like in detail, because everyone has questions about it each week. All right, so here are my profits. Here are everyone else's profits. We got Kenny over here, took the liquidity push, total profit of 1,250, all wins. Nice work right there, Kenny. Solid work right there. We have a possible, never mind, take that back, guys. I thought we'd have a possible high-low momentum scalp right here, but I just realized that there's a high-low in between. So if this candle breaks and closes above, it'd technically be an entry, but there's a high-low right here, or lower high. So this would not be a valid entry unless it breaks and closes past it. So going back to the profits over here, Kenny with a total profit of 1,250, all wins. Here's Johnny over here, took the liquidity push as well, total profit of 925 for the day, all wins as well. We've got, let's see, Kenny over here, 1,200, Kenny again over here. And here is Dejan. Dejan locked in a total profit of 980 for the day, full TP. So nice work right there, Dejan, all wins. Man, Dejan's been on a roll lately. Let's see, he had all wins for 980 today, all wins for 1,800 yesterday, all wins for 1,360 the day before that. Day before that, 960, all wins. Day before that, 2,370, all wins. Nice. Day before that, 1,500. Day before that, 1,000. Yeah, Dejan, you've been on a roll today or this week. So nice work. All right, so we have a possible high-low momentum scalp right here, but you guys want to watch and see how this candle closes. As you guys can see, huge wick right here. There's about 15 seconds left on the candle. It does not look like we're going to have a buy signal here. So probably no entry here for the high-low momentum scalp. All right, the candle closed above pivots 1 and 2, no buy signal there. So obviously no entry here for a high-low momentum scalp. We just got to wait for the next one. So as I mentioned before, guys, this is one of the official strategies that we apply that we actually follow and count. However, this entry hasn't been coming up all week. We've had about maybe 2 or 3 entries that have come up this week. This happens sometimes, right? Sometimes you're going to get weeks where the market is just super choppy and it's not very directional, and you're not going to have any entries for this specific strategy. The good thing is that we've been trading live for like a while now, so we know how the market moves in seasons. And if that becomes the case, then we have another strategy here that works for that type of market condition. So this SR rejection scalp is meant for a sideways market. So if we need to start applying this, we can. There's no problem with this. This strategy works perfectly fine. So we will keep this in mind as we continue to move forward with this trading year. So there's no entries for it right here, right now. There's no entries here for a high level momentum scalp. And for the liquidity over here, the next area of liquidity. So the next upper area is going to be up here, and the next lower area is going to be over here, see, which is kind of far. The bottom down here is about 550 pips. Above here, it's about same 500 pips. So 500 pips in either direction. That's where the next area of liquidity is sitting. But for me personally, I don't take, well, since I've been testing the strategy, I'm just going to take the first area of liquidity. I think that's about it for me. I'll take other trades in between, or if I do take any other liquidity pushes, I'll take it for a partial move for like 100 pips or something, because it's kind of far. it gets to either point, it's going to be a bit overextended from where it's currently at. Here is Maria. Maria, total profit of 285 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Maria. She took that liquidity push as well for a full TP. We've got Dejan over here, total profit of, oh, sorry, not Dejan. We got Deswell over here, total profit of 3,780 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Deswell. We've got Andrew over here, total profit of 1,040 for the day, full TP on that liquidity push. And I think that's it for right now. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. No, I think that's it for now. So what I'm going to do here, since there's no entries for us to take, I'm just going to go and screenshot my own profits. So I'll just do that real quick, guys, and then we will continue on with, and I'm just sticking away from Asia session completely now, guys, because I don't want to have to like risk my, I'm like definitely not going to trade during Asia anymore. So I just want to give you guys a heads up because I know a lot of you guys keep asking me about Asia, like what time to trade and stuff. I'm just going to stick away from it because yesterday the markets were hitting, but I want to save my capital for maybe like just this one move every day because this move is really, really lucrative. I can do this daily. Like if I could lock in 6,000 profit every single day per account, or not per account, but for my FTMO accounts, and then half of that for my MFF. If I could do that every day and just take one trade, like basically on the open of the market, it's going to be less stressful, easier, and more easier and a lot simpler for you guys to gauge, especially if you guys are doing a challenge. Because like realistically, if you know, if you can take that one trade, you just need, well, for me personally, let's see, I just need like 3 or 4 good trading days, or 3 or 4 wins, and then that's pretty much like a past challenge right there, right? If you guys are doing a challenge or anything like that. So it's just looking at it from a different perspective because it's crazy how much easier and how much less stressful it is just taking one trade. And it's kind of a set and forget trade too. Yeah, Nick said about 3.5 wins. I think that's going to be a lot more lucrative for a lot of you guys here. It's just a lot. It's less stress too. I think that's the main thing. Because if you're just taking one trade and then you're pretty much banking on that one trade a day, you don't have to take much risk. Because when you take more trades, you're just adding more risk to your profile, right? I'd rather take one good trade that has maybe like a pretty high percent win rate versus taking like 10 trades and they're all kind of high percent win rate. But if I lose one, it's going to send me back a bit. I'm just trying to make things as simple as possible for you guys. I'll still look for other entries though. But for myself personally, on my personal account, or my own accounts, I'm probably just going to focus on that one trade and I'll add on some high-low scalps if I do see them across the timeline. All right, so let me show you guys my profits off that one trade. So this is the trade that we took this morning, guys. This was a liquidity push right here. I went for a 1-to-1, 300 pips. Total profit on my main FTMO account of 5,560, just one trade. Here is my FTMO number 2, locked in 5,560 as well. Here is my MFF number 1, total profit of 2,380. Here's my FTMO number 2, total profit of 2,430. And lastly, my MFF number 3, total profit of 2,430. So looking at that there, I mean, doing the math, just add it up real quick, 5,560 plus 5,560 plus 2,380 plus 2,430 plus 2,430. So you guys can see right there, I just took one trade, literally one trade to full TP, total profit of 18,360 across all my accounts. So you guys can see how lucrative that can be because like say we're going to have like say I'm being modest, say I'm being modest and I want to take, and say I take like three wins and then maybe 2 losses, right? So if I do that, that's like 55,000. Then I'm subtract 18,630, 18,630. Still pretty high of profitability, about 18K in a week, which is not bad at all. You multiply it by 5. That's just That's just easy. Once I start adding more accounts, it's gonna be even crazier. So we got another area of liquidity down below here. So this might be an area of liquidity, guys. This right here, I think, is overextended. So I don't know if this is one that I'd recommend taking. I mean, I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to take it myself. Just want to give you guys a heads up. I won't be taking this one. This price looks a little overextended. I'm worried that price is going to hit this area and then bounce. There's more liquidity down here, though. So price will likely just blast right through it, actually. It might like blast through this area and then reach this area down below. But it is a little overextended. So there's liquidity right there. Just got hit. Not in this position, guys. I'm just marking it up for you guys here. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna hit TP and full TP right there. So if you guys got it, great. The reason why I felt like this was gonna hit TP right here was because price is pushing down to this area down here. I mean, it would push down to this area. I think this is where the bounce may happen from here. Thanks, Nick, for the heads up, because I didn't reset it yet. Okay, so I just reset it back to 100 pips TP. So if you guys take the trade right here, and it did exactly what I mentioned right here, right? This is probably where the bounce is going to happen. Yeah, exactly. Nick said didn't get in. Those bounces can be volatile. Same here. I'm trying to be safe because I'm pretty satisfied with my profits for today. Today's Friday, it's one of the riskier days to trade. A lot of fake outs are going to happen. So I'm happy with what I locked in for today. And 18,000 one day is not bad for one trade across my accounts. So let's see. See, Satyam said he took a V1. He took two V1s for 200 pips. Satyam said 900 pips profit so far. Thanks a lot, Glenn and Sean. Yeah, definitely, Satyam. Glenn's asking, hey, Sean, can you point out where you put the sell stop? The entry is always going to be where the liquidity is sitting, Glenn. So wherever the liquidity is sitting, that's where you put it. The price difference between YM and FTMO is about 60 points. So you would just subtract. That's why I did the subtraction earlier this morning. Like, for example, if you wanted to enter right here at 33,391, you would just subtract that by 60. So the FTMO price would be 33,931. That's what FTMO pricing would be. Not sure if you're on FTMO, but that's what the FTMO pricing would be. Nice. Lucas said, took a loss getting in late on the first liquidity, but he just caught this one, made it back with some profits. Nice. Perfect, Lucas. That's solid. Nice recovery right there. I know the first liquidity was kind of iffy because I was trying to put a sell stop there, but I cut it or a buy stop because price was too close. If price is like super far, like this area down here, like if it's this far from that next area of liquidity, then at this point, yeah, I could go and put, a sell stop down there. But price was too close up here, so I couldn't put a sell stop. I just had to enter that manually. So Glenn, when I entered the other trade, I entered that manually. I couldn't put a sell stop. It was too quick. Every time I try to put the sell stop, I would get an error because price was right at entry point. See, Barty said, Sean, my MT5 is freezing. Made my 30 pips though through though MFF is trash. Oh, man, sucks, Barty. So Barty said his MT5 froze for his MFF. Not sure if that happened with anybody else, but yeah, unfortunately that happened for Barty right there. So what I'm going to do right here, guys, is I'm going to go and just take a screenshot of this so that you guys can document this, and so we're now counting these as official trades. Just so that you guys can study it, because I know a lot of you guys want to study these entries here for liquidity. That way you guys have this way you guys have a documentation of these entries here. I probably wouldn't recommend taking the ones that are past though, at least not for a big push, because for example here, if you go in for 300 pips, you wouldn't have made this trade, right? So if you're going for anything after the first one, I would just go for 100 pips because it's just super risky. Because at that point, price is overextended. You don't want to be holding on to those positions for too long, right? All right, so there's the update right there. Here are some more profits from Kenneth. Kenneth locked in a total profit of 1,285. He took that second liquidity push right there for a full TP. Total profit of 1,285 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Kenneth. Yeah, solid. So it looks like some of you guys here are taking it too. So great work right there. Lucas caught it as well. Here's Maria. She locked in a total profit of 530 for the day. She took that last liquidity push to a full TP. Nice work right there. 2 full TPs right here, Maria. So great work on letting those trades run to TP. I think that's one of the problems a lot of people have too, is just letting them run and breathe and go to where they need to go. So solid work right there. I think that's it for right now. Yeah, there was a pending high-low momentum scalp right here that Nick mentioned, but it didn't close, so there's no entry there, guys. Yeah, this market's just been kind of choppy. I mean, the candles aren't very smooth, so it's kind of hard to catch these high-low momentum scalps. The candle right there looked like it was going to close, like Nick mentioned, but it didn't close. So unfortunately, there's no entry there for a high-low momentum scalp. Nice. Martha caught the second liquidity push too for 100 pips. Here is Martha's profits for the day. Total profit of 2,460. Nice work, Martha. Full TP on that trade too. So great work right there. Glenn's asking, I mean, when did you put the sell stop? Did you put it right before market open? I mean, you can put it whenever, Glenn, but you should be putting it like when the market is actually open, because you don't want it to trigger before the market actually opens. So like, for example, today, the market was price was too close to the liquidity zones, right? So I wouldn't put it pre-market because it can trigger before the market actually opens. So if the market, so like, for example, if the liquidity was like way down here, Glenn, it's not going to hit before pre-market, right? So you can put your sell stop there or your buy stop, whatever it is. But if price is like literally right next to your area, like for example, the first trade over here, it was like less than 500 pips away, right? I wouldn't put the sell stop there because what could happen is it might trigger it before market opens and then it goes complete opposite, right? So technically you should be putting it after market open, but if it's so far away where it's not going to hit it before market open, then yeah, you can leave it there. And then when market opens, it'll automatically trigger as it comes down, and then it'll go straight to your TP. So, yeah, I mean, there's different scenarios, Glenn, but like, for example, today, I wouldn't have done that because it was too close. All right, so pretty much all the liquidity here got knocked out, guys. The next area of liquidity is going to be up here. If it does push up to that point, the lower end, I don't think this is going to get hit. Price is so far from this area here. So from this point right here, price is currently 2,100 pips away. It's a far away to get to that next area of liquidity. However, up here, price is about, it's still kind of far, but it's only 700 pips. So it's a lot closer. Let's see, Barty said, let's enjoy our profits and go away with what we got. Yeah, no, I'm looking for, I'll look for entries here for you guys, but I'm probably not going to take anything else myself, guys. We have news right here at 7 o'clock. It's high impact. This is inflation news. So this is going to be, it's going to make the market a little risky because if we get a big spike in volatility right here, anything after this could either be a correction or a continuation. So you want to be careful with that. Definitely do not recommend taking any trades right here. This is it's PMI. So this is going to be a very high impact news event right here at 7 o'clock. Let me mark up opening price real quick over here, 630. Mark it up over here on the clean chart as well. Yeah, I 100% don't recommend people trade at this news because this news is very high impact. So the news event right now is going to be the prelim UOM consumer sentiment, obviously a red folder. It's inflation news. It's going to be very, I mean, you're going to see, I'm expecting a pretty big spike here to pretty much disrupt the market. So we'll see. I'm going to sit back and watch. Not going to mess with it at all. We'll see where this ends up going. Pretty sure it's going to be a heavy move though. All right, so we got the higher high right here. We got the lower low down here. So this is the range right now. It's not a really smooth range. It's kind of just a choppy one for the most part. This is a clean chart. All right, we got about 1:40 until news right here in a few. You can see the volatility starting to die down because it's preparing for that breakout. See, Glenn said, I put my self stop after the initial low rejection, caught it as well. So the thing with that, Glenn, is that I mean, you can do that, but you want your sell stop to be like literally on point with where liquidity is sitting, because if you're off by like maybe a few points, that could be the difference between it hitting your TP and for it to get really close to your TP and reversing the other direction, right? So you can do that, but if you're going to do that, I would compensate for like the maybe, the difference. So I'd probably maybe not go for the full 300, maybe go for a little less, like maybe 290, 280, somewhere around there, because you need to cover spread and you got to cover liquidity too. If like liquidity starts to cause slippage in the market. And that's just my preference, right? Like, for example, the trade today, if you saw the trade that we took, Glenn, it got really close. I actually got pulled out early. So like, right, for example, right here, it got really close to the TP and then it pulled back really hard. But luckily, like my MC4 was, it got me in at a better price when I got in kind of late. And then it closed me out like right before I got to that point for a full TP. All right, Kenneth. Kenneth said done for the day. Have a good weekend. Definitely, Kenneth. We'll see you back here on Monday. Good profits for today. All right. So we got the news coming up right here in about 10 seconds. Let's see what happens. I'm expecting the inflation news to be, let's see what it was like. I think it's going to be negative. I think it's going to be negative, yeah. So news is pending right there. Let's see what happened on the chart. There goes that big spike. It spiked down real quick. Spiked down again. Now it's pushing down a little further. It's a super choppy move off this candle. I'm going to just mark up opening price right there, and then we'll follow it. So pretty big candle right here. Let's measure it and see how far it spiked. Spiked about 500 pips. I was expecting a bigger spike, but it's all good. I mean, seems like a lot of people are kind of nervous about how it's moving, and it was negative like I anticipated. So I hear prelim UAM consumer sentiment negative. I already figured it to be negative. The reason for that is because I looked at the previous day's CPI negative, and I looked at the PPI as well, also negative. Right. So inflation news was negative on Wednesday and Thursday. It was going to be negative today too, and it was negative right there. So I think price will continue down a bit further. Yeah, I think the continuation down will probably happen, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, if you guys are looking for this right here, I'd probably look for the break and retest. That's probably going to be the setup that you might want to look for. So like basically a break, retest, continuation. That's kind of what I'll see, what I personally see happening here. So break and close below structure, retest of the structure, and then a continuation back to the downside. That's what I see in my perspective here. There we go. As price drops further, I'm not going to mess with this though. The volatility is a little too high. I think if I do mess with this, I may get caught in some slippage. So I'm not really going to play around with it, but I will follow it. So you can see right here where it's bouncing off this low. That's why you kind of want to wait for it to break and close below it. There's no liquidity here, so there's no area for you to really look out for. What I would look out for is if there was an area of liquidity, then I would ride that, because if the news push price to liquidity, it'd go on a very heavy stop loss hunt. But the next area of liquidity is way down here. Or actually, it's not even on this chart. The next area of liquidity is like way down here. So if we had a news price and a push price way down here, then I maybe would have taken that for 100 pips, because it would basically push price into a stop loss hunt to wipe everybody out. And the reason why I'm marking up the liquidity from on the higher time frames, like for example over here, if you go like on the daily, you guys will see that these areas of liquidity were established last year. So like these have not been touched since October of 2022. Eventually they're going to get hit, right? Like this one over here, this high over here was established in December of 2022. Price isn't here yet, but eventually it's going to get to that point. It's going to knock out liquidity. So I like marking these up because people who are like swing traders, this is where their stop losses are sitting, right? So I'm pretty much identifying people's stop losses on the very high time frames, like a daily, down to the 4-hour time frames, down to the 1-hour time frames. And you guys can see these are like where people place their stop losses on the 1 hour, and then even down to the 10-minute for the people who are day trading. So I'm basically looking to wipe out everybody who's trading on all time frames. So that's why I mark up the high lows that have been untested on all the time frames, because they're really key points, right? They're key points where you can identify where liquidity is sitting. Doesn't matter who's trading it, whether it's a day trader, swing trader, scalper like us, we know where their stop losses are sitting. So that's why it's really important to keep those zones in mind. So other than that, we don't really have anything else here, guys. Price is kind of pushing around. If you guys are looking for the sell to ride this news push further down, this is the pattern that you want to look for, the break and retest. As you guys can see, price is just going sideways. It's retesting the actual news price here, the pink line, and it just keeps going back and forth between this lower low and that area right there. Let's see. Barty said he's putting a buy limit at 33,461. It's pretty high. 33,461. Is that for FTMO pricing, or you're on MFF, right, Barty? I don't know what the pricing is for MFF, but because it's a 60-point difference. If you're going off the YM pricing, that's pretty far up here. And if you're doing 60-point difference, it's probably going to be around 400. Yeah, so if your buy stop was right there, it might have gotten triggered already, Barty. I mean, I personally would have put it there. I don't have a reason for me to put a buy stop. There's no liquidity there or anything for entry. It's just news price. And the news was negative, so I don't think I really look for any buys here. I think price will continue dropping. I think it's going to fake out a couple times, fake out up here, and then come back down super hard. So I think we're going to get a bit of a chop move here. It's probably going to chop around a bit and go sideways here. And I think this is what's going to happen. Price will push up, fake out, come down super hard. Because the news is negative. It's been negative all week. So if it goes where it needs to go, it's supposed to go down. But I think they're going to fake out in both directions. They'll fake out down here to stop people out. They'll fake out up here to stop people out. But eventually, I think price will come down super heavy at some point. I don't know when, but it'll come down at some point. Because all the inflation news from this week was negative for the most part. Gotcha. Okay, YM. Okay, no, that's good then. So Barty, if your entry point is way up here, that's better. I would prefer you to have it up here rather than having it down here because this is too close. So no, this is good. If you have it up here, then I think a target price point would be opening price right there, right? So if you get your point right there, or if you get your entry right there, yeah, you got enough space there to blast through and maybe hit your TP depending on how far it is. All right, so here goes a break below the structure, guys. If you guys remember the pattern that I marked up earlier, I said to look out for the break and retest, break, retest, continuation. So you want to look for the break, and then typically I want to see the retest on the very next candle. So right after the candle that breaks and closes past it, I want to see a retest on the next one, and that's going to be the pattern for it to continue down. If it doesn't happen like that, it becomes a little more risky because sometimes you'll see the candle break and close, and then it won't retest for like another 10 candles. And at that point, price is in consolidation or range, and it just becomes a mess at that point. Question from Barty, sorry, not Barty, from Johnny. Johnny's asking a random question. If I hit profit target for the 50K challenge, should I place one trade per day at a mini lot size for the rest of the 8 days? Today's day 2. I need 8 more days, but I will be working in the morning next week. And only time I can place a trade is an Asia session. Yeah, Johnny. So if you have the app on your phone, just open a 0.01 lot size, just open and close it like super quickly. So just open it, let it run for a little bit, and then close it. Or you can just open and close it right away. If you do that, then it's going to count it as a trading day. So if you can't trade on those days, Johnny, just do that so that you can get the 10 days. Because there's been some people in the group, and it's crazy. There's been some people in the group, they pass their challenge in like 2 days. And then they're like, all right, I'm just going to wait like the 30 days. And then they don't reach the 10 days and they end up not passing the challenge, which blew my freaking mind. I was like, dude, you didn't realize that there was a 10-day trading session? I mean, a 10-day trading requirement. And they're like, no, they didn't know. So yeah, better to knock out the days while you can. Even if you pass the challenge within like a day or 2 days, you still need to trade for those 10 days. The good thing is that when that happens to that person, they let them just like retry again. So just don't let that happen to you guys. All right, so the break and close happened right here. You guys can see for the retest right here on the next candle. If this happens to retest, then it's probably going to drop down further. If it breaks and closes back above, then probably not. Let's see. Barty said, I bought YM. It helps out so much better. All thanks to you. Yeah, definitely, Barty. The YM here, the data is so accurate that, so I think it's really worth the $5, right? I'm not making any commission off that. I'm literally giving you guys the blueprint of what I use, which is YM. I mean, it would be nice. TradingView should pay me for telling people about YM because so many people are on YM now, but of course they wouldn't. It makes a difference, like trading on this versus the other data. All right, so we had the breaking close below, guys, and then this candle over here pulled back into it, but it didn't really reject off it. There's no wick rejection. So I considered it a bit iffy because you really want that rejection off that point. There's no other entries here yet. So we currently have a lower low right here, guys. So we do have the lower low down here. If price breaks and closes past it with the buy signal, it's going to be a possible high level momentum scalp. So if this candle right here breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, then this will be a possible entry for a high level momentum scalp. The thing with this is you guys want to wait for the candle to close, because if you don't wait for it to close, it can easily pull back like it just did right here. So it's got 10 seconds left, but you guys for sure have to wait for this candle to close before making entry, because the last thing you want to do is get into an entry that doesn't actually close properly. All right, so there's the entry right there. Looks like it's pushing up. Not in the position though. So I'm not in this right here. I was waiting for it to close, and it did close, but it ended up closing at like the very last second. So I'm not in this position. I'm going to see if I can maybe put a buy stop here to catch it as it swings up. Let's see where it's at. Let's see what the overall bias here. The bias is kind of iffy at the moment because it's pretty much bearish right now across all the time frames. So I'm not in the position right now, guys. Right now, the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, it's currently bearish. 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, it's bearish as well. So it's bearish across all the time frames right here. So it's not really looking like a great trade because you're going against such a strong trend. So I didn't really enter it right away. I'm still not in the position. Let's take a look at the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are currently neutral, so they're not very strong at all. They're not even that bullish. They're up 20 points. S&P's up neutral too. It's not even up 1 point. Nasdaq's down 23 points. Russell 2K is up 7 points, and the VIX is currently up, less than a percentage point. However, the sentiment over here is somewhat bullish. It's not very strong, but it is bullish. 55%. So it looks like it blasted right through the TP. So I don't know if anyone caught that. Anyone catch that trade? Yeah, nice. Looks like Glenn caught it. Satyam caught it. Drew decided to sit it out. Nick said it hit his stop loss, but it gave him 10 profit. Weird. I don't know why does it happen to you, Nick. I haven't seen that happen to anybody else. Are you entering with a market order, or are you entering with a pending order? Yeah, did you enter with a market order, Nick? William caught it. Johnny caught it. Solange caught it. CJ caught it. Sweet. Dan caught that one too. He got in late, so he missed liquidity, but he caught this one. Nice work, Dan. So yeah, a lot of you guys here caught this trade. Angela caught it. Great work, guys. Martha sat out on it. Yeah, I don't know why is it happening for you, Nick. Are you on you're on FTMO, right? Or are you on MFF? That's weird. Yeah, I'm not sure, because I haven't seen it happen to anybody else. Like, you're the only person that's been happening to lately. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could have an answer for you, Nick, but I don't, because it's been working fine for me. And pretty much, I mean, is anybody else having that issue where you guys are entering a trade? The only thing I can think of is if there's slippage happening, which, I mean, I can't personally say if there was slippage here, because here, let me just go. I can look for you actually next. So let's see. So let me just go over here real quick. I'll just rewind to this and I'll go down to this 10-second chart. Let's see how the candles are moving. Yeah, because there's not really much slippage here. I can see the candles are moving, but they're not like crazy spikes, right? And like the thing with this here is, yeah, like even if you got caught slippage right here, Nick, like it would actually give you more profit because it would blast right through it. And then, or I don't know, maybe if you entered like, let me go on the even 1 second time frame. Okay, so I'm here on the 1 second time frame, right? So like say you misclick like at least like for a second, right? Unless you like literally clicked right here. But I mean, it still wouldn't make sense because if you, even if you clicked right here, your entry would be at some point down the middle. So I'm going like deep down into the trenches, like a 1 minute time frame. Like if you saw a huge candle that spiked up and then a big red candle, then I could see that happening. But I mean, I don't know, Nick. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I don't see anything here. Like I went down to the 1 minute time, 1 second time frame. And the only way I would see some slippage like that happening is if you get a really big green candle, like you enter off that green candle and then it spikes back down with the red one, right? But I don't even see that happening right here at all. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. You might want to message, I mean, if you want to message FTMO, if it's really that big of a deal, then you might want to message FTMO and they'll ask you for your trading logs because your trading logs will show if there's anything wrong. You might want to reset your MC4 or maybe even reset your computer because if it's been happening to you for the past couple of days, it might be your computer. Like your computer might be actually freezing when you're entering the trade. That's the only thing I can think of. Like if your computer is maybe your MC4 is not like it's not running smoothly, your MC4 might be the platform might be what's lagging. Because I haven't seen it happen to anybody else. If it's happened to other people, then it would make sense, but I don't know. Anyways, Nick, hopefully you get that fixed. All right, let me scroll over here real quick. All right, so let's see. Brian is asking, hi, may I know what the settings you set for the trend meter? So the trend meter is set to same as chart, Brian. So if you go to the trend meter settings, just go to your inputs right here and set them all to chart. This will give you what the trend for the specific time frame. So if you're on the 1 minute, it's just going to show you the trend on the 1 minute. If you have default settings on, it's going to be set to the intraday settings, 30 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. You don't really need that if you're scalping. So just set them all to chart. And that's the settings that it would be set at. So, all right, guys, there's no entries for us here right now. There's just that high level momentum scalp. Looks like a lot of you guys caught it. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to set them up. Otherwise, we will continue looking for any other entries here. So let's see. Nick over here sent me his settings. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine to me. Everything looks fine to me, Nick. I just don't know what's going on. Here, let's do this. So Nick, if you want to screenshot your entry times, like just screenshot your bottom part right here. I can look at it to see, what happened. I can even pull back to the time of your entry. So just take a screenshot of this bottom part right here, Nick, and I can help you with it. There's no entries right now, so it's fine. There's nothing going on that we're missing. But if you want to screenshot that, I can just reverse engineer it, see where your entry point came in from, and then see like, how did that even happen? Oh, okay, Joe. So Joe said you're trailing. Thanks, Joe, for the heads up. Joe, yeah, so you have your trailing stop turned on right now. Nick, that's why I keep stopping you at that point. I knew something on your end. I was like, there's no way there's something wrong with FTMO. There's never anything wrong with FTMO. So you have your trailing stop triggered right there. Thanks, Joe. Joe's super smart. Joe like spotted that without even like, I didn't even see that. So yeah, I figured it was a problem on your end, Nick, because I'm like, there's no way FTMO's screwing you. There's like no way. So it was just, you had your trailing stop triggered. So you have it set at 0 pips, Nick. So like literally any move, it automatically stops you out. So that's why you keep getting that. Okay. No, so we're good. Yeah. Thanks, Joe, for the heads up. Yeah, no problem, Jeff or Brian. I don't know what to call you because your name's Brian, parentheses Jeff. So I'll call you, I guess I'll call you Brian. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I don't see anything else here going on the chart. We currently don't have a higher high or a lower low. In order for us to have an entry here for a buy, we need to have a new lower low, and then vice versa for a sell, we need to have a new higher high. So until we have that, there's nothing for us to take here right now specifically. right now at the moment. There's no liquidity. Price is pretty far from it. Looking over here at the SR rejections, there's nothing here right now either. Let's extend the zone out a little bit. All right. Satyam said he took another V1 right there. Nice. And Satyam's been killing at these V1 variations. So yeah, it looks like Satyam, you might be up like how many wins today? Because you were up like 3 wins this morning. So you made 900 pips and then you took like maybe like 5 V1s. So it looks like you're up like 6 wins for the day for a total profit of about maybe 1,400 pips. So 1,400 pips times whatever your lot size is. Pretty decent profit for the day. Martha said, let's see, she said, set out on that one with such a strong bearish trend, going to try to catch momentum scalp on the way down. Yeah, no, that's probably the best option there, Martha, because, obviously you want to trade in the direction of a bias. The problem with the bias here is that it's kind of mixed, right? The retail sentiment over here is indicating to take a buy. It's not very strong, but it is still indicating to take a buy here. 55% short. It's pretty much useless right now at the moment because we typically want it to be above 65%. So this isn't going to be too much of a use to us, but there are more retail traders on the sell side. Looking over here at the fundamentals are pretty much useless as well. As you can see, even like CNBC reported, stocks are flat Friday as regional banks struggle to recover. It's pretty much flat, plus 38 points. In order for us to have this as a buy bias, we need to have plus 100 points, and then vice versa for a sell bias, we needed to have negative 100 points, which we don't have here. So fundamentals and retail sentiment are pretty much useless to us right now at the moment. Going over here to the technicals, it's still pretty bearish for the most part. So it's a little difficult for us to look for any buys here. For me personally, because I don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the market. All right, so there's no entries for us here right now. Let me go and just copy this stuff over real quick. So we got Kip's profit there. I'm going to go and save that. Got C6 profit over here. Nice work, C-Soup. I know, right? Maddie C-Soup. All right, so we got a couple more profits over here, guys. Let me just run through everyone's profits real quick. So we have Kip over here, total profit of 9,866. So Kip actually held on to that sell from earlier that we took for the trade. So total profit of 9,900 off that one trade right there. Huge profit. Took that liquidity and held on to it. We've got C-Souk over here, total profit of 2,025 for the day, all wins. Nice work right there. We have C-Souk over here, total profit of 1,100 for the day on this account. So the second account, total profit of 1,100, all wins. And then C-Souk's third account over here, total profit of 1,739. One loss, but pretty much all wins, go figure. I think this is a double post. Let's see, Jeff over here said, all right. So there's no entries for us right now, guys. We have a new higher high right here. So we have a possible sell entry coming up soon. We'll see if this here closes. See, Kenny said, hey guys, Powerball is up to 125 million. Damn, that's crazy. Or give me a Powerball ticket, right? Feeling lucky today. There's a V1 variation right here, guys. I don't know if anyone saw that. It happened really quickly. It's right at news price though, so it's not one I would take. It's a red flag. If you guys remember the red flags, some of you guys might have forgotten about it. But yeah, typically there's a V1 variation right here, but it's right at this news price. So not exactly a trade that I would take. You guys got to keep in mind, I know we haven't looked at these red flags in a long time, but the red flags are still important. They're still relevant to our trading if you're using any of the other strategies. It's not relevant to the high level momentum scalp, but it is relevant to other strategies like the V1 variation. There's a V1 variation here that's currently running, but you can see price is having trouble getting past the news price right here. So this is definitely one that I would be skipping myself personally if I was to be taking this trade here. Or I mean, you'd be skipping it as well if you're following the directions for the strategy. So I'm going to take that off right there. I'm getting tired. I'm waiting. All right, so I'm just looking for this sell signal to come up here, but even if you get that sell signal, it's not really looking too strong right now. This price is kind of consolidating here a bit. Typically, when you see that swing back to the downside, you want it to be a strong push to the downside, like a high, and then straight push down. Right here is kind of, it's like a push down, but it's not very strong. So there goes the V1 variation. If anyone caught it. There's a possible high level momentum scalp here, but this candle here is a little big. So you want to wait for this candle to close. You can see right there it disappeared. So this is probably one I would skip. I wouldn't take this one. It's just too iffy of a move right there. Yeah, so if you guys remember, I discussed this pretty much for the past couple of weeks. You guys have to wait for the candle to close. If it ends up closing like that, don't enter right away. Wait for it to come back down. So if you do want to enter this trade, I'd probably wait for it to pull back down. And you can possibly enter like a sell stop, like somewhere around this area for entry. Yeah, so whenever you get a candle like that, kind of disappears, you could have a sell stop just waiting right here to catch it as it swings down. And then if it doesn't and it keeps pushing up, I would just cancel it. Because the candle right there was kind of disappearing at the last 10 seconds. You don't want to enter a candle like that because you'll get a pullback like this, like it just did. For one, the candle was big. Second, the candle was kind of iffy. It closed iffy. This candle's retracing back. This can go two ways. It can either pull back down and go straight to TP, or it can pull back up and not come back down. So just a heads up, right? So let's see if I could maybe see where it's at. Oh, it's too late. I already pulled back below. I was going to put a sell stop there, but it was a little too late for the entry. Actually, I can still put a sell stop here. See if I get that. See, everything's still pretty bearish. It looks good. 30-minute over here just looks kind of, well, actually the higher time frames over here, the wicks on the bottom look like it's kind of iffy, but looks like price might come down a little bit. Fundamentals are still pretty flat. There's not really much of a change here. So like these other confluences here, fundamentals and retail sentiment, I don't think this is going to change from now until 8 o'clock. 7:30 right now. Let me check the calendar for news. I don't think there's anything else today. I forgot to check my FX book, but yeah, there's not really much. There's a Canadian news right here at 7:30. There's a WASDE report at 9 o'clock, but it's pretty much neutral. It's low impact. Baker Hughes oil rig count, oil news. And then the Fed's going to speak later today in the afternoon. So, and Bullard. So we got the Fed speaking later today on market close. And right now there's just nothing going on. Lots of sideways movement. Not too much volatility. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people might have just called it a week. So it looks like this volatility in the market kind of died down a bit. It looks like either a lot of people are just out of the market for the week. It is Friday, so this is typically where a lot of people just sell off and be done for the week. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here to really look at the moment. Price is like literally flatline. Yeah, Maddie said super sideways movement. Oh, perfect. So Jeff, you're already in the group already. I had to pull out of that trade, guys. I was not feeling it. So I hit TP right there. It didn't trigger my TP. I just pulled out of it. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, I put a sell stop there as price came back down, filled my order, went straight to TP, didn't close me out. So I just closed out manually, hit my TP right there. So what I locked in on that trade, locked in 1,400, some slippage, but it's all good. I wasn't risking it at this point. So, but whether you guys entered right away or if you guys waited for the pullback like I did, I just waited for the pullback because the candle there didn't close very well. So full TP on that right there. I'll go ahead and mark that up. So it looks like we're closing out the week pretty strong. We didn't have any official entries. This is one of like the main official entries that we were taking. Today, there's like 2 or 3 entries that came up. They all hit TP. Yesterday, we had one entry, but other than that, it was kind of flat. All right, so we got another one right there, and that's pretty much it for that trade. Let's take a screenshot of my profits for the day. Partial profit on MFF, of course. Kind of annoying, but whatever. Yeah, there's not too much I can do about it. All right. So there goes my profits right there. I'll post my individual profits right now. Here goes Andrew. I took another full TP off that next trade. Total profit of 1,560 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew said done. Thanks, Sean. Definitely. Yeah, enjoy your weekend, Andrew. If you guys are good with your profits and you guys are happy, I would just call it a week. Just looking at how the market's moving right now, it's not the best market to trade in. This right here is kind of stressing me out a little bit too because it filled my order and then it just went sideways. And I was like, man. So I looked over at all the websites and wrote to see if anything was going on. There's like literally nothing going on. So I was worried that I was going to get stuck in this position right here. So I was in the position when I was talking to you guys here and I was looking at all the other confluences. It triggered my order. It came down real quick, triggered it, and then it just sat there. And I was like, man, is this thing going to move? So I went and looked at the other pages. And as soon as I looked, it spiked down to TP. When it spiked down in TP, it kept flickering the yellow light on MC4. So I just closed it out manually. Last thing I just get caught in a position and then it keeps flickering, but not actually closing. So, all right. Other than that, yeah, Maddie said that was nasty. Same here. Nick said didn't like the momentum at all. Yeah, Nick said he pulled out as soon as it went into profit. Smart move. Yeah, I was thinking about pulling early too, but I just ended up pulling through it. Question from Satyam. Satyam's asking Sean, 708 V2. Please let me know. I just want to know to differentiate V2 to V1. Yeah, so 708. Let me go real quick. 708, which is, yes, so this is a V2 variation right here. Satyam. So the difference between a V1 variation and a V2, V1 is like this right here, right? Or I mean, it's not this specific, this one right here actually. So let me just go back real quick. I'll show Satyam what a V1 is. So this is a V1 variation because there's a double body rejection. See, the bodies are on the same level. This is a reversal pattern. Sometimes people call it tweezers if it's a double wick, but this is a double body right here. This would be a V1 variation. This one down here would be a V2 variation. The reason why it's a V2 variation is because there's no double body or double wick, but there's a low with a red candle, and then you have a strong green candle right after it. It's kind of similar to like, it's like this pattern right here too, or this pattern right here. It's just you don't have a pending signal here. So it wouldn't be an official entry, but like this is the example. You either have a high with a green candle, strong red candle after it. This right here is not very strong, but if this wick right here is smaller, it'd be a better type entry. But this one right here was actually a good one because this green candle right here had little to no wick on the top side. So you had the lower low right there, pushed up, strong green candle. However, for this entry here, it's going against the trend. So you wouldn't have taken this trade here, right? You need to have the overall bias. So there was no overall bias right here, Satyam, so I wouldn't have taken it. But yes, this is a V2 pattern. V2 pattern, but not V2 entry. It's a low with the red candle, strong green candle, or a low or a high with the green candle and a following red strong candle. So, I mean, for the most part, you did identify it properly. It's just the overall bias is not there, so you wouldn't have taken that trade specifically because you want to trade where the bias is so that you have that push in your direction, no matter what. Yeah, Satyam said, thanks a lot, Sean. Overall bias and red flags. Yeah, exactly, Satyam. Yeah, for one, another thing that you mentioned too, red flag right there is at the sessions. And then same with this one over here is at news price. So I wouldn't have taken either of those. The only strategy that doesn't really use red flags is going to be the high level momentum scalp. So this entry right here was at the news price, but it was that specific strategy doesn't require that you avoid those because it's such a quick move. All right, so we got Dave over here, total profit of 1958 for the day, all wins. A nice work right there, Dave. Yeah, he said small profit Friday. So you guys, as you guys can see, it doesn't matter what kind of account you have. If you have a small account or a big account, Dave here has a small account. He's still profiting. Profit's profit, guys. You guys got to keep that in mind. It doesn't matter where you start because over time you're going to get better and better. You're going to have more profit, more capital to trade, and your account's just going to keep growing. Like I started off with like $100 account too, and then here I am now with like over $1 million funding. So your time's coming, guys. So just find the consistency and focus on winning. That's the main thing. When you're ready, you can increase lot size, increase account size, and then you'll just keep doing the same thing and just be making more profits. So here's Johnny over here, total profit of 2,145 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Johnny. And Johnny's on his way to get funded. Almost there. So all right, Johnny, great work right there, all wins. He said he needs one more trade for profit target, but it looks risky right now. I'd probably just wait until next week, Johnny. Unless you feel really comfortable about a position, then take it. But if you don't, I would probably just wait until next week. You don't need to force it. You still have your 10 days anyways. So you got like a whole month to reach your goal. That's crazy. Johnny's about to pass his challenge. He just started it too. So I'm assuming Andy too. Johnny and Andy are probably killing it almost to their to pass the challenge within like 3 days. It's been 3 days. Johnny's been killing it. All right, so I'm going to take an individual screenshot of my profits real quick, guys. If there's any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I will continue looking for entries here, but if there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Gian said, I'm gonna hit the gym before I lose my profits. Smart idea, Gian. So I'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, today's Friday, guys. Just keep it in mind. A lot of people forget that today's Friday. Friday's like I typically don't even trade on Fridays. But today was just too good of a day to pass up. Yeah, I made some pretty good profits today across my accounts. Got some slippage on my FTMO copier, which is a huge plus. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do with my MFF, guys, I was talking about this yesterday. I might just split up all my MFF counts into 6 100K counts because they have a lot size cap, which doesn't make sense to me. It would make sense if they had a lot size cap for like certain accounts, but the lot size cap applies to even the 200K count. So there's no point in getting anything more than 100K on MFF because the lot size cap just doesn't make sense. Like I can't even trade much on my 200K counts. It just doesn't match my my FTMO. All right, looks like majority of you guys have signed off for the day. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm just going to post up my profits real quick. And if I don't see anything come up anytime soon, I'm just going to wrap it up. There's no point in us risking it getting this late into the session. The market starts to move kind of funky towards 8 anyways, especially on Friday, because a lot of people are exiting the market. So just a reminder, guys, the riskiest days to trade are going to be Monday and Friday, because for Monday, a lot of people are re-entering the market from the weekend. You get a lot of like unusual movement because people are just filling orders. And then on Friday, you get a lot of people exiting the market for the weekend. So you get a lot of unusual orders as well. As you can see, it's getting really close to 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock cutoff is right here. So you can see prices starting to come down further, but this can easily reverse at any moment, right? Because there's going to be that mid-market reversal. If a lot of people are in sells from this week, which I'm assuming a lot of people are taking sells, if they close out of their sell positions, they're going to get a lot of buy volatility, right? It's going to push up in the opposite direction. So just be careful. Just because people are selling off doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be all selling. People might be closing their sells and market could be doing opposite and going up. So yeah, it's just a little a little risky. Yeah, Maddie said nice liquidity push this morning. Sean, great catch. Yeah, definitely, Maddie. Thanks. I was trying to whenever I find something that works, I'm going to share with you guys. Like, for example, I was using a liquidity push for 100 pips, right? What I did last night is I tested it for 300 pips and I saw the results here. So I'm like, this thing has to work. So that's why today I went for 300 pips. I shared it with you guys. I never hide anything from you guys. When I find something that works, I share with you guys because I want to make sure that we all make money off that. I might find something that works temporarily, might find something that works long-term. Either way, I'm going to share with you guys and we're all going to make money off that. That's my main goal here, to make sure that you guys are profitable and you guys are consistent with your winnings. So other than that, here are my profits across all of my accounts. So here's my main FTMO account, total profit of 6,960 for the day, all wins. This is the liquidity push we took this morning. And then this was that high level momentum scalp that I just took right now with you guys. So 6,960 off my FTMO number 1. Here is my FTMO number 2, total profit of 7,060 for the day. Right here as well, all wins, as you guys can see. Pretty solid. I mean, this thing was pretty straightforward. Some slippage here in my favor, so I made a little more than my other account, but this is my second FTMO. Then, of course, my MFF number 1, total profit of 2,930. A lot of slippage right there, only gave me 500. It's supposed to be 1,000. Here's my MFF number 2, total profit of 2,880. Some slippage there as well. And then lastly, my MFF number 3, total profit of 2,930, all wins. So these are pretty much the all my profits for the day. Not bad for 2 trades, pretty smooth. Here, I can even do the math. Let me see what I locked in for the day. So I locked in 6,960, 7,060, 2,930, 2,880, 2,930, total profit of 22,760 for the day across all my accounts. Not one account, this is multiple accounts, so pretty solid. So that's pretty much how much I locked in for the day. Not bad for 2 trades, right? 1 liquidity push and 1 high level momentum scalp for even partial profit. We did pretty good. Other than that, let's see. Barty said Sean is US30 king. Let's fucking go. And more of a disciplined trader than I've ever seen. Thanks for your motivation. Yeah, definitely, Barty. I mean, the key thing here to show you guys is that this is possible, right? I do all my trades live with you guys, so you see me actually take them. You see my analysis. You have my blueprint. I just want to show you guys that it's possible. And it's beneficial for me too, because if I didn't have you guys watching me every day, I probably wouldn't be this disciplined. Like, I can't make any mistakes. If I make mistakes, you guys are going to call me out on it. So forces me to be a better trader every day. So we got Nick over here, total profit on Nick's account of 3,440, all wins right here. Nick finally fixed his trailing stop loss. I could see the frustration here though, because this one over here hits your full TP, no drawdown. These over here gave you like 10 bucks. And I can see the stop loss right there. So you got pretty much trailed on your stop right here for these 2 trades. It's all good. Yeah, Nick said, he said, done for the day. Here are my profits for the week, bringing my account back from 2 losses I took last week. 1 more trade, I'll be back to break even with 2 weeks left in his challenge. Yeah, so if that's the case, Nick, get your account back to break even, leave it alone, get that free reset, and then start fresh. Should be good. Martha said, amazing week, great for my confidence. Thanks, Sean. Have a great weekend. Total profit of 16,050 for the week. Nice work, Martha. Yeah, so Martha only had one accidental loss today. She had, or not today, but this week. So this week so far, she had pretty much all straight wins. Yesterday, she had a small loss. Looks like it wasn't necessarily a real loss. It was like she might have closed at a break even and he gave her a negative 50. But for the most part, she had 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 trades for the week. Pretty much all wins, total profit of 16,000. So you killed it, Maria. I mean, not Maria, Martha. Yeah, Martha killed it. So great work, guys. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to send them in. I'll just save that in I'll post it up in the save messages over here. There you go, Martha. I'll spell Martha's profits. All right, we got more profits over here from CSoup, total profit of 2,775, all wins on this account. CSoup's second account, total profit of 1,800, all wins as well. And CSoup's third account, total profit of 2,489 for the day. Nice work, CSoup. All right, great work right there. We got Wesley over here, total profit of 515 for the day. He was trading NASDAQ this morning. Nice work, Wesley. So solid profits right there. And Maddie over here didn't take any trades today. Stuck to his trading plan, no trades on Friday. So great work right there, Maddie. Yeah, and I think you just passed your challenge, right? So you're probably just waiting for that verification. So solid work right there. Let me scroll down real quick. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Let's see. So Jeff is asking, may I ask how come the graph on my trading view is so different from yours? Is it the settings? I mean, depends. Which one are you using, Jeff? So which data are you using? I'm assuming it's probably your data set. That's probably the main thing. So I'm currently using YM data. I'm not sure when's the last time you were on the live with us, Jeff, but I switched to YM like last December or last November. The reason why I switched to YM is because if you click on if you type in US30, you're probably using one of these brokers right here. The problem with using these brokers is that they create their own data. So their pricing is different. So the signals will look different. The algorithms don't work the same as they would on mine that I've created. Also, the difference might be the candles. So sometimes the candles might look different. So this data YM, we have to pay extra for this data. It's like another $5 a month. Like you can buy it under your extra market data. And this data comes directly from the exchange. So you can see over here, it says CBOT, right? So if you type in YM, you can see right here that the data is directly from the Chicago Board of Trade. So you get this directly from the exchange. If you type in US30, you'll get this data from like different brokers, currency.com, Black Bull, 8cap, capital.com, Pepperstone, etc. This data is all going to be different, but we want the best data available, directly from the exchange. No, like the data is not manipulated at all. So we pretty much pay $5 for this data from the exchange. So that's one thing. The one thing might be your data. I'm not sure which one you're using. The other thing is, yeah, it just might be the indicators. So you might have different indicators on. So that's maybe what it might look different, but not sure if if that's the case. So yeah, Jeff, if your graph is different, like the pricing looks different and the signals look different, it's probably because of your data set. So if you can figure out what your data set is, it'll probably say it right here on the top. So like if you were on currency.com, or if you're on Black Bull, it'll say Black Bull up there. If you're on currency.com, it'll say currency.com right there. We're using YM. That's why ours says CBOT. It's directly from the exchange. So yeah, if you know which one you're on, Jeff, just let me know and I can probably just explain it to you. The only difference here is probably the indicators. I currently have the pivots on. This might be different too. So I changed the color of the pivots. The default colors are, they're green, yellow, orange, and red. All I did was I changed the yellow to blue because it's kind of hard to see for people. So I just changed the color to blue. So my pivots look a little different, just one color. Also, the high-low indicator. I'm not sure if you had the high-low indicator the last time you were around, because I know you were around for a while and you kind of like took a break. But main difference would be the high-low indicator too, which you can add under your indicator list. So yeah, Jeff, if there's anything different, just let me know and I can help you fix it to look like mine. But I think the main thing might be just the data set. Yeah, YM said, yeah, YM is much needed investment at this point. Currency.com momentum. I've messed them up a couple times. Yeah, you just want to have the best data. Yeah, no problem, Jeff. But I can help you with that. All right, let me scroll up real quick, just make sure there's anything else that I'm missing before we log off for the day. Talanji said, yeah, it was hard, but he closes MC4 now. Win for the day and win for the week. Yeah, definitely Talanji. It's a key thing. I think your main goal, everybody, guys, is to close out the day and close out the week in profit. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit of profit or a lot of profit. Closing the day in profit is a key thing there. CJ said, ever since I downloaded the quick trade manager, I'm not able to use the one-click function to manually exit the trade. How do I fix this? It's weird, CJ. I have that issue too, but then it just went away. What you might want to do is you might want to right click on your MT4 and then turn on one-click trading and then turn it back off and then turn it back on. I think that's how I fixed it. So if you right click on your MT4, there's going to be an option that says one-click trading. Click it on, click it off, and then click it back off. Like, try to play around with it. And that should fix it, because I think you have it toggled on or off, because that was my problem. So if you want to try that, CJ, I know it's going to be hard for you to actually test it because you have to like take the trade on your actual account. But I did have that problem too for a while. I had that problem last time when I was out in Cabo. If you guys remember, I was out in Cabo like a couple months ago, and then I had to take my laptop out and I had that same issue where I couldn't close out of the trade because it was on a different computer. So that might be the fix, TJ or CJ, sorry. All right, let me see if there's anything else over here. Glenn said Sean's stacking up cash. Satyam said Sean is my Robin Hood of knowledge. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if there's any question that you guys have, feel free to let me know. My goal here is to help you guys out. I've been trading for so long that I just want to pass on the knowledge. I think if I could do anything with trading, it's just passing on this knowledge. And make you guys profit. That's the main thing. So yeah, CJ said I'm clicking it, but I can't tell if it's on or off. Yeah, I couldn't tell either. So what you might want to do, CJ, is switch to like a 0.01 lot size, but don't take a random trade. Take a trade if like you think it's actually going to go in that direction, and then test it out. Like, say for example, you get a sell position, but it's not a good one. Take it with the 0.01, so you're only risking like pennies, and then try to close out of it just to see if it works. That's what I did. I just kept playing around with it until it worked, and then it finally worked for me. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put it in the chat. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. You can see right here, price is stuck at the support. So I don't know if price will break through it and then continue dropping, or whether it'll bounce off it and do a full-on reversal back to opening price up here. I mean, a lot can happen right here. So as you can see, this candle is trying to break and close past it. The pattern that you guys want to look out for here is the break and retest. So right here, you can see price is breaking, closing past it. Look for that break and retest pattern that I just showed you guys earlier. Break and retest, continuation. I mean, the retest might not happen, but if the retest would be beneficial, that'd be what you actually want to look for. Break, retest, continuation back down. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me or message me on Telegram. Otherwise, have a great weekend, guys. Be safe. And don't trade anymore. I recommend not to trade because it is getting close to a market close. I've seen some people where they traded like to the very last minute, and then they ended up getting caught in the position and they didn't close, and they ended up blowing their account. So just keep that in mind. That's happened to me too. I've blown an FTMO account because I forgot to close it over a holiday, which was considered a weekend. So don't be that guy. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here on Monday. I should be back in town. I'm flying out to NorCal right now, so I got to catch my flight. I fly out in a few hours. got to pack real quick. And I'll be there from Friday to Sunday, maybe Monday. So if you guys have any questions and I don't respond to you guys right away, just be patient. I'll get to you guys within time. But I will be traveling this weekend, so I'll probably be back by Monday, if not Sunday. So, all right, guys, have a great week.